At the beginning of the story, there is a beautiful woman named Victoria, though most call her Tori. She is a talented entrepreneur and baker who also owns a shop called Cake Ferry. In running her business, Tori has teamed up with her best friend, Stephanie. Since her cake shop is still in its developmental phase, Tori often worries about the cost of renting the building. Yet Stephanie continually encourages her, convinced that Tori has a remarkable knack for cake making and that the shop will ultimately be a success. Meanwhile, there is a handsome man named Jack along with his father's assistant, Hank. Jack is the son of the big boss, a wealthy property entrepreneur. While casually discussing work matters, a woman with a huge crush on Jack suddenly appears. Her name is Lacey, and her presence makes Jack uneasy, for Lacey is arrogant and prone to flaunting her life on social media. Back to Tori, she had been delivering a cake she made for a wedding. When she reached her destination, she mistakenly asked Jack, who was outside the building, to help her lift the cake, as Tori assumed he was one of the venue's waiters. After she finished delivering the cake, Tori introduced herself as the owner of Cake Ferry. Although Jack concealed his true identity at that first meeting, it was clear that there was a mutual attraction. The next day at the store, Tori's ex-fiancé, Brandon, unexpectedly shows up. Tori is shocked to learn that Brandon claims he is marrying his new fiancée, Jessica. Consequently, Brandon requests that Tori make a wedding cake for him. After Brandon leaves, Stephanie scolds Tori for accepting his order, reminding her that she is about to bake for an ex who abandoned her for another woman. Stephanie also warns Tori not to set prices too low, lest they lose revenue. Tori explains that she accepted the order purely to attract repeat customers, and when it comes to Brandon, she prefers to handle orders professionally, without personal entanglements. On the other side, Jack, Hank, and Jack's father, J.J. Adams, are seen discussing a project to build a new apartment. The development requires a large piece of land and, whether desired or not, it involves demolishing existing buildings that now house shops. Since Jack knows that Tori rents one of the shops, he tries to find an alternative solution that would spare Tori's small cake shop. However, his father disagrees with Jack's approach, arguing that the project promises much higher profits than simply renting out buildings. The following day, Stephanie visits Tori's home and immediately informs her that the building is slated for demolition soon, and that her shop is one of those affected. The news makes Tori nervous, as her store's location is very strategic. They feel rather pessimistic about stopping the evictions through negotiations given that Adams' company is quite large. Stephanie then suggests rallying the other shop tenants for a demonstration, hoping that a viral protest on the internet will earn support from the local government. Just before the demonstration, Tori stops by a coffee shop and unexpectedly bumps into Jack. Tori is surprised to see Jack so well dressed, as she only knew him as a catering waiter. Unaware that Jack is actually the son of J.J. Adams, the shop owner, Tori invites him to meet Stephanie. Soon, they invite Jack to join the protest against the evictions planned by the J.J. Adams family company. Since Jack is free that day, he accepts Tori and Stephanie's invitation. However, when they arrive at the protest site, Tori and Stephanie are disappointed to find only a few people gathered outside Adams' family office. When Tori invites Jack to join them at the demonstration, he covers his face so as not to be recognized. Inside the office, J.J. Adams and Hank observe the protest. J.J. Adams instructs Hank to call security and eject the demonstrators, but by accident, one protester records the incident on video, planning to upload it to social media. After the protest ends, Tori tells Jack that she is truly at a loss about how to proceed if the evictions persist. Yet Tori is also grateful that Jack is willing to stand by her. As their relationship grows closer, Jack asks Tori to meet again on the weekend, and she agrees to his invitation. In short, they meet, and Tori takes Jack to the bookstore she frequented for leisure. There, Tori accidentally finds a classic novel she had long sought. Knowing how much Tori desires the book, Jack offers to purchase it. However, Tori refuses, citing the high price, a response that makes Jack fall deeply for her, for Tori is unlike any woman he has dated before. The next day, the video of the shop tenants' demonstration goes viral on social media, earning strong support from netizens and prompting J.J. Adams to view Tori as the instigator of the incident. In defense of the woman he likes, Jack explains to his father that they simply want to continue running their shops. But his father remains unmoved and instructs Hank to contact the mayor immediately for full support. That night, Jack invites Tori to dinner at a restaurant, discussing the viral protest video. Thanks to the video, Tori's cake shop becomes a bestseller, with many people supporting their protest efforts. While they are deep in conversation, it turns out that Lacey has also seen Jack and Tori together. For some reason, Lacey is not fond of their relationship and promptly takes pictures of their moments together, posting them on social media and claiming that Jack is seen making out with a mysterious girl. Because of Lacey's video from the previous day, Hank is furious with Jack for going out with Tori the night before. Jack worries that if his father sees the photo, he will be incensed. Consequently, Jack is forced to make excuses for approaching Tori, not to dig up vital information for his father's company, but because he cannot hide his true feelings. He then confesses to Hank that he likes Tori, even though people still believe Jack is merely a waiter. Hank warns Jack that his relationship with Tori is in serious jeopardy. If Tori discovers that Jack is actually J.J. Adams' son, she would be furious. Hank then urges Jack to reveal the truth to both Tori and his father. A few days later, Lacey approaches Hank while he's having coffee at a cafe. Lacey laments that she truly misses Hank. In fact, Hank had harbored feelings for Lacey for a long time, but his affection waned because Lacey preferred Jack, and indeed, Lacey's interest in Hank was fueled only by her curiosity about the woman dating Jack. Knowing Lacey's true nature, Hank withholds any information, for he already realizes that she is merely using him. Meanwhile, Jack and Tori resume a date at a beach, a favorite retreat for Tori when she is off work. At the beach, Jack remarks that it is his first time visiting there, even though Adam's property office is very near the shore. While sitting together on the sand, Jack contemplates revealing that he is not a catering waiter at all, but rather the sole heir of Adam's company. Ultimately, however, Jack abandons the idea, not wanting to spoil the happy moment with Tori. In short, when Tori returns home, Stephanie tells her that Brandon remains desperate to order a wedding cake from Tori, even though his intentions are solely to show off to his ex, Tori. It doesn't take long before an irritated Tori calls Brandon and promptly refuses his order, knowing full well that his request is not driven by admiration for her cake, but simply for self-aggrandizement. Since meeting several times, Jack and Tori continue to spend time together on dates. So happy are they that Jack forgets to seize opportunities to reveal his true identity. He does so because he fears that if Tori learns the truth, she will despise him. For that reason, Jack prefers to keep his real identity hidden rather than risk losing Tori's trust, the woman he loves dearly. Meanwhile, since J.J. Adams did not respond to the shopkeepers who protested, Tori organizes another demonstration with other tenants outside Adams' office. Today, Tori gathers even more demonstrators than the day before. She continues her fight to save the shops, which represent the only livelihood for many. In short, after the demonstration concludes, J.J. Adams approaches Tori for a private discussion. During their conversation, Tori pleads with J.J. Adams to select another parcel of land for his apartment project. Unfortunately, J.J. Adams refuses and insists on proceeding with the evictions, regardless of the daily protests outside his office. The following day, Jack arrives at Tori's shop, simply to give her flowers and sample one of her cakes. When Jack tastes Tori's lemon cake, he is instantly reminded of the flavor of his grandmother's cake, his father's favorite. Consequently, even though Tori has no new orders at that moment, she invites Jack to dine with her at a restaurant the next evening. However, Jack is unable to accept Tori's invitation, citing that he must accompany his father to an exhibition outside town. In truth, Jack has a meeting with his father regarding the demolition of the shops the next day. During an office meeting, Hank informs J.J. Adams that he failed to secure support from the mayor, who instead favors the shop tenants. Angered by this, J.J. Adams orders Hank to immediately contact the company's lawyers to resolve the issue. When the meeting ends, Hank realizes that Jack has not been honest with either J.J. Adams or Tori. Hank then urges Jack to confess the truth, warning that if both Tori and his father learn of Jack's secret, the situation will become far more complicated. Lacey, who had been watching the demo video outside Adams' office the previous day, finally realizes the identity of the woman dating Jack. From that point on, Lacey harbors malicious intentions and plans to take advantage of Jack, as she is irritated that he refuses to date her. The next day, Lacey accidentally orders a cake from Tori for a party hosted by the mayor that very evening. Of course, Tori is delighted to secure another order, even though she should have gone home. Instead, Tori works late to bake the cake. At that moment, Tori remains unaware that Lacey was the one who placed the order. Once the cake is finished, Tori and Stephanie promptly drive it to the party. Along the way, Tori appears joyful because her shop has been receiving many orders lately, and her relationship with Jack has grown closer. At the party venue, Hank, Jack, and JJ Adams are present. At that time, the mayor and his wife also arrive, engaging in conversation with JJ Adams about an apartment building project that has gone viral yet was rejected by the demonstrators. Meanwhile, Lacey approaches Jack and claims that she already knows the identity of the woman dating him. Lacey threatens to expose Jack's secret if he does not accompany her to the dance that night. Reluctantly, Jack goes with Lacey to dance. While dancing, Tori and Stephanie arrive with cakes and inadvertently see Jack dancing with another woman. Spontaneously, Tori approaches Jack. Jealous and disappointed, Tori feels betrayed because she believed Jack was out of town with his father. Amid the commotion, JJ Adams steps in, and Tori finally learns that Jack is, in fact, the sole heir to Adams' company. Naturally, this revelation further disappoints Tori, leading her to believe that Jack had approached her solely to benefit his apartment building project. On the way home, a heartbroken Tori is overcome with sadness, unable to believe that Jack, the man she loves so dearly, had betrayed her. That deep hurt propels Tori to devise another plan to stop the demolition of her shop. From that point forward, Tori refuses to answer any of Jack's phone calls. Even when Jack gifts her a novel he knows she loves, she immediately discards it as if she truly despises him, unaware that Jack actually loves her very much. Shortly thereafter, Tori, having nearly exhausted all ideas to dissuade JJ Adams from demolishing the shop, suddenly recalls Jack's remark that her lemon cake tasted exactly like his grandmother's cake, his father's favorite. Immediately, Tori bakes a lemon cake and delivers it to Adams' office, intending for it to be given to Jack's father. Tori hopes that this gesture will make JJ Adams reconsider and spare her shop. When she arrives in JJ Adams' office, Jack is present as well, and Tori realizes that what she did was a mistake. She then explains that she did not want to be like Jack, approaching people solely for personal gain. Tori adds that she is willing to give the cake away without expecting JJ Adams to change his mind, and after pouring out her heart, she departs. Jack can only surrender, realizing that his lie to Tori was a huge error. Jack then tells his father that Tori is a remarkably talented woman who makes exceptional cakes. Jack begs his father to taste Tori's cake, and unexpectedly, after sampling it, JJ Adams is moved because the cake's flavor reminds him of his late mother's cake, which was his father's favorite. Meanwhile, at her cake shop, Tori appears sorrowful, thinking this might be the last cake she ever makes, for the shop is destined for demolition. Yet Jack soon arrives and tells Tori that his father has changed his mind and no longer intends to demolish the shop. However, Jack knows that empty words won't win Tori over. Consequently, Jack hires two violinists to entice Tori into speaking with him and pleads for one more chance. Jack offers romantic music and genuine honesty to the woman he loves. Eventually, Tori softens and agrees to dance with Jack. The scene then shifts a few months later. Stephanie and Tori are seen delivering a wedding cake, and it turns out that this cake was made for Tori and Jack's wedding. Finally, Jack and Tori marry and live happily ever after, and the movie ends. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more recaps like this. See you next time.